So this is my story, a little bit of my journey, and also just a compilation of videos, pictures to kind of show you guys who I was before seeming retention, before God mode, before this whole awakening, and to let you know, the story of just this soul, myself. It was not easy really making this, but I felt called, to really do this. As I was growing up, I was just in a wealthy school, Hilliard, Ohio, high school that I was at. Played sports, did track, and just kind of was the one fitting in, not really knowing who I am yet, not knowing what was in store, running on a path that I wasn't sure where this was going to take me. This is a story of seeing the highest highs and, the lowest lows. And I was running, this soul, running on a path, not realizing just how far he would go, not realizing how strong, how courageous and how brave he really is. So I would like to kind of walk through these pictures and kind of story tell a bit of this whole journey, the book that I'm writing called My Life. Now, I always knew I was different, always felt different. Just kind of like the picture, God had to hand me a baton and I had to run for something that my ego couldn't really explain, but my soul always knew deep down. After leaving Hilliard, Ohio, I was only a sophomore in high school until shit really hit the fan and I had to be going to a brand new city, not knowing anyone or anything, matter of fact, due to, certain family issues, addictions. This is really a story, overcoming abuse, staying resilient, and a soul that really goes against all the odds. I'm here to do this to inspire you guys and to show you. I used to be smoking, just like this picture, I would steal money. I was deeply hurt, I was deeply lost, very confused, and just didn't know where I was going, trying to play the cool kid, looking to fit in with something that really didn't fit me. So this is the span from, I'd say, 2017 to now. So this was about, I'd say, high school, towards the end, sophomore year. This is before I went to Marion. Sitting here smoking, and just like the picture shows, I am literally lost in a cloud of smoke. Chain smoking weed, which became a really bad habit. And I would just smoke the pain away. I would just smoke myself into some false reality, some fantasy that was never true. Staying in this $1 million house due to my mom's, sugar daddy. Stayed here for a little bit, experienced what this reality was like, not seeing the wisdom in the journey that was coming. It all seemed sweet now, taking pictures, showing friends, looking to get clout, looking to be cool, and not to realize that this would be deepening, this would be going somewhere much higher than I knew before. So while I was enjoying this, I had no idea what was to come. This is kind of before my true awakening happened, but deep down, always felt it. So I've stayed, this is from being in $1 million house to transforming, awakening like a lotus in a 1-bedroom apartment, kind of seeing the highest highs, but later not knowing my mother's alcohol issue led to the end of this relationship, which led to the end of this experience. Now, in this tale, this quick little documentary, I knew that God was really guiding my path. I felt a lot of anger, a lot of confusion, to not know what was coming next. That I had experienced all this shit, kind of the golden boy. These pictures are hilarious, guys. In my ego, on Snapchat, being a little fuckboy. Was definitely not pretending. Was in some weird little fantasy world, fapping to weird pictures, just doing weird things. But I knew behind that face was a real insecure, boy whose mom wasn't really there for him, not emotionally at least. She did the best they could. There's nothing really too personal with my family. I just felt called to bring this, experiencing this lavish, wealthy, reality. I knew that it was coming to an end. And throughout this process, it's almost looked like looking back at another person, a completely different person. But as you know, everything happens for a reason. This is this is kind of me, posting some pictures. Always had the need for discipline, but you could tell that I was just not committed. I mean, who the hell is this dude, bro? Who the fuck is this? So I was relapsing. I mean, all these videos, man, I was relapsing, smoking, but as you can see in this, man, there was something deep down, man. A battle between the ego and the soul. A battle between the false self and my true authenticity that lied underneath. I knew most of my life I was a fighter, man. I knew most of my life I was really a warrior. Looking back at this younger version of myself, I'm grateful that he didn't quit. Even the hell that he would have to soon experience. So just like I'm in this pool, like some little, Richie Rich. It's kind of hilarious. I did not know who I was. But that's part of the journey until hell broke loose. My dad had an issue, substance, and I was brought to this city, and it was definitely did not feel like home. I later spiraled into just utter darkness, man, like getting high. You can just tell, like, just completely depressed in this picture, trying to mask my feelings, fitting in, just completely fucking crushed, man, like. This is really where the ego death happened, and there was really numerous of them kind of in this wilderness path. But as you could see, this picture, man, was just a little lost, hanging around people that I knew weren't really my friends. And this is very deep. Look how fucked up I was, man. Completely sad until something happened. I knew that I could bounce back from this. Even in the school and Marion, I didn't know fucking any. I was mad, dude. Just look at that. Until I had to really save myself. This kind of showed I was really just alone with God. I wanted to kind of share a little bit of my story with you guys to, kind of shine a light on who I am. Really just my walk and how far I've come. Sometimes we forget our story. So, I was in this school, didn't really know anyone. And I decided to really come back, bounce back from all this shit. I wrestled last year in high school, man, and that was a good way to kind of get myself out of that depression, man. I mean, this was like a deep existential pain, man, where like I didn't know who the fuck I was. So this picture right here, this is where I started kind of really meditating, really getting deep, because throughout this whole process, man, I was really in isolation, overly isolated, to the point of insanity, to the point of like, you just want to fucking end this shit, like, man. But I held on. Something in my soul didn't let go. Not seeing, my family didn't understand me. Fighting with my dad. People around me, man, not really knowing what I'm experiencing. And I just felt like an alien, man, straight up. So throughout this process, I had to really lose myself to find myself. I had to lose my mind to find it. In a way, I had to really die to be reborn. And I'm just kind of showing you guys some pictures, explaining a little bit of what really is behind it. So, as you can see, I was just in pure apathy, man. Pure fucking straight darkness, like suicidal thoughts. Felt like I was literally fundamentally fucked, trapped. Telling God, like, is there a way out of this? Like, what the fuck? Like, why am I going through this? Just sitting in this room, like, fuck me, Felt like I lost everything, not seeing that there was a deeper awakening, a deeper process that my ego just couldn't understand. So it fought and it fought until I really had to surrender. Until I was almost forced to surrender, from the circumstance and just everything that was happening in this city that I literally hated, So coming into this city, I realized that this is for a higher purpose. So as you can see, I'm a little fucked up right here. And then this is where it gets hit. I was in this bitch. You can see this video of me, man. I was literally just in this room. I say this is probably like 2 years ago. Kind of documented, not understanding that like I couldn't give up. Something in me just couldn't give up. Like even when I was literally skinny, broke, insecure, you know, nobody really to talk to. It was just me and God. It was just that vision. It was that connection, and nature is a really big part of my story. Nobody really saw the vision. Family members, they didn't really see me for who I was, and that made me really deeply depressed. But it was just exercise and discipline and this path, man, that just had me kept going. Like this video right here it was very hard to make this, guys. Very hard. Cause I saw all this shit, you know, this picture right here, man. Having anger issues, man, that was actually my body that was really slammed into a wall by my own family. And that's kind of the dark side of all this, man. The light that really woke up inside me triggered not only the demons in me, but in the demons of everybody else. So I knew that shit, man. Like, I'm in fucking hell right now. God, what the hell? So I had to keep fighting. I knew that everything I had went through prior, my mom's shit, you know, witnessing her abusive relationships, kind of being there as a child, I just went down a dark side, as you can see right here. Smoking, out of shape, fucked up. And then I tried to escape. Lancaster, man, was in a homeless shelter for a couple months. Had to walk on foot everywhere. Just trying to escape this tortured home. Just trying to escape this place that I could not run from. Not knowing that I was just trying to run from myself. This is why God had to bring me back to the same place that I ran from. But this was one hell of experience. I mean, awakening in this place, being in a homeless shelter. I mean, you could imagine. I felt like that I was there to really do God's work. And it's only at those very low lows that I was able to see what was inside of me. So it was a deep purification that really took place. But something in me, man, like I always went to the gym. The gym was literally like a fucking lifeline, bro. There was times where I had to walk. Mind you, there was no car in all this. I was walking, man, like literally miles on miles. Even to the point where my feet were literally bleeding, man. But that's how bad that my soul wanted it. That's how bad that I wanted to come back from this. You can even see, just as in this picture, man, I was just in Planet Fitness. Like, I literally almost fucking lived there, man. But you can tell, man, I'm in the massage bed. Kind of just rejuvenating. This was just a very odd path. I didn't understand it, but when I look back at this, I realized I couldn't be who I am. You know, sometimes we can't be as strong as we are now until we see how much we've overcame, and it allows us to really remember our strength and our resilience. So I'm in the gym every other day, you know, eating little to nothing. I'm on low calories, trying to gain weight, and just lost. Until I knew this suffering, this pain, it led me closer to God. It led me closer to really kind of purifying and renewing my soul. So it's a bit of a paradox. There was a lot of dark moments. There was a lot of dark moments that I had to really overcome by myself, not realizing that the pain I'm experiencing, living in the woods too throughout this, I said, fuck the shelter. You know what I'm saying? I went into the woods right here. It was early March, and I was just out there. I couldn't take it, you know, going through this awakening. I just felt like, fuck, I have to get out of this. So I really just, like a homeless person, like, you know, I had to go in nature by myself. And this was a very deep experience that I had, where I was just kind of living in a tent, doing everything out of the tent, but I never felt more at home, closer to God. I was out there meditating, really just seeing what this all means, finding myself in this. I feel like a lot of these pictures kind of speak for themselves, but I wanted to briefly summarize what these pictures mean. We're kind of retarding this, you could say, but we're gonna skim through it. I'm not like some professional like director yet. This isn't Hollywood, but hey, fuck it. So I was really just walking alone in these different places, really the path, man, and I'm grateful for everything that I drew from this experience. I felt like I wanted to really introduce some of who I was, man, before all this shit. before God mode. And oddly enough, it was really these darkest moments that awakened and birthed this light. Although I was without a home at the time, it made me really get in touch with just humanity. It's kind of what I was doing, just a vessel, man. Seeking the truth, getting in nature. Path to solace. Simply a misunderstood genius, you could say. So all the times in the gym, felt like shit. Felt alone, man. Just in nature. But there was something deeper to it. Walking this path. This deep self-discovery God really had me on, you know. Sitting here questioning myself, like, what am I doing? But I realized champion is someone who gets up. So I'm training. Looking to gain weight. Looking to make my comeback. And just seeing these pictures is insane. Kind of seeing the light really start to come back. Starting to love myself more through this. And I had to finally face the demons, man. So these are all the fucking runs that I had to make, man, where I really found myself, had to really dig deeper than ever. And this is just one of my testimonies to show it doesn't matter what's happening, it doesn't matter the cards you're dealt with, it's really what matters is how you respond from it. Not giving up has been one of the biggest things. And in each run I made, dude, as shitty and as miserable some of them were, that strength started to really come. My true self started to come to the surface. And as you could say, hey, fuck 'em, we ball, right? Fuck 'em, we ball. A little bit of the journey, kind of like fuck the system a little bit. Seeing this, and as deep as you can dive, as high as you can fly, is something that I drew from it. A couple nature pictures, all the years, man, that I was just out there with God. Like I knew I wasn't alone. I was being guided from something. Starting to crack out of my old ways, coming up to things like this, having this vision and this brand in the back of my mind. This is what kept me going, guys. This right here, just a deep devotion to myself. It was hard to smile at times, but I knew that I could keep going. Just like this picture, man, I was in a gym alone and just felt absolutely like, damn, man, I've got to really save myself. No one's coming. So I had to put it on my own shoulders to be the hero to my own story, even now and currently. Doing this to inspire some of you brothers that have been kind of silent in the chat, that you're able to share your story and what you're going through right now. It's not there to break you. See, even in a place like this, that bottom level right there, just one of those windows, that's where I was at, like a lotus. And if a light can shine in such a place, it is just an evidence of God's presence, man. An evidence of really the spirit and how powerful it is. It's not where you're at, but it's what's born within it. I couldn't have found myself like this in a place like that. It really woke me up. Dealing with the loneliness, dealing with like, man, how am I gonna get out of this, God? Went through a phase of this, just like this picture. Feeling sorry for myself, all this apathy, all this darkness, man, just purging from the depths of hell inside of me. I knew that it was time to really come back. I knew I've been through too much. I can't quit here. This is not where my story ends. So I just got sick and tired of feeling this way. I got sick and tired of just really accepting it. And the soul started to wake up from it. The ascension, the resurrection, the rebirth. It is truly a testament of the power of nature and the power of connecting with your own soul. And seeing that it's always a process, right? It's always about the climb. It's always about the journey. And it was in the process of rebuilding myself from that level to where I was able to really find myself. I was able to open up my voice. I was able to really love myself because no one else was. It's like all I really had was myself, you know? So quitting wasn't an option. Killing myself was not a fucking option. Nature is a big part of all of this. Wanted to share this with you guys. That you can bounce back, that you can rise from that, that you're not stuck, that you're not fucked. And God has always been with you, man, even when it seems like you were alone, man. All one, right? sitting in this little, looked like a little Buddha cave. These moments right here is what pulled me out of that despair, is what pulled me out of those places. So thank you, God, for allowing me to continue to be here with you guys. It's that resurrection. You know, you have to go through that death, that burial, that resurrection, that metamorphosis. So getting in touch with nature, and I was building a little stuff here, kind of just in my element. I've always done this even since as a kid, man. Building stuff with sticks. Just kind of having fun with it. Because, I mean, I didn't really have any friends, kind of. It was just nature. Meditating, just on this, like, hermit path for a while. Looking at myself. Really starting to see the true light that was birthed from all this hell, from all this darkness. It's really like the phoenix from the ashes, guys. So realize you're not alone. You're never alone, man. I'm simply exposing some of myself to see. You could tell I was just, had a lot of anger, man. Waking up. I mean, this is kind of some Snow White shit. I had a butterfly in my head. I knew that that energy and that essence was always there. So sometimes you have to let go of who you're not to start to embody and align and become who you were always meant to be. So it's not that we look back at our trials, we look back at our moments. We actually resolve them, thank them, gain perspective from them, and see the wisdom. So this is what really started the path of just wanting to lead by example, holistic healing, kind of holding the light in such a place. And then the lion really woke up, and my mom was a really big motivator for me. Not gonna let this place stop me, not gonna let this situation, this environment, this home, this box, but it never boxed me. I didn't let it. And the phoenix woke up. So it's like the lotus flower. The lotus. Dark moments, man. Keeping a smile in the storm. In the room, I kept going. I kept fucking going. I didn't care what it looked like. It reminded me of Christ. And I just kept rising. Showing up at the gym every day. I didn't miss a fucking day because I couldn't afford to miss a day. So I kept showing up, showing up, showing up. You can see I was watching you, brother. Hey. As deep as I can dive, as high as I can fly. So this is kind of a little bit of my story. Coming back from this, holy shit, to that. From God mode, from SR, from dedication, from devotion, from loving yourself. Showing you that you can rise the fuck up above any circumstance, and this shit don't define you, because it was sent to build you, not break you. Draw some inspiration from this. You know, there was times I was questioning myself, like, fuck, this is exhausting, man. But it wasn't my strength, it wasn't my will, it was God, man. I truly see this now. This was not just off my own human strength, there's no way. So it was in that connection. It was in that deepening, man. A constant shedding. It's almost like dying 1,000 times to finally be reborn. And to keep walking the path, brothers. Keep walking the path. Keep retaining. Keep loving yourself. And this is just a prime example of how truly everything happens for your highest good, even when it doesn't make sense. You're a lot stronger than you know. Realize I have your back. And I'm gonna keep fighting with you. I'm gonna keep rising with you. A diamond is always made in the pressure. The test always comes before the testimony.